Hola a todos, acá Leo, como siempre para Fortuito, les mando un gran saludo y hoy tenemos la oportunidad de platicar con nada más y nada menos que Jane Penny, frontwoman de los tops que están llegando a México de regreso, muy esperado el próximo 8 de mayo al Foro Indie Rocks con un show atemporal como es su música. Hello Jane, how are you? Thank you for your time.
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
All good, thank you very much. So, suppose that you are really excited to come to Mexico City soon.
Yes, I'm very excited.
You've been here before, of course.
Yes, it's we'll be back. Yeah, we were here a couple of years ago for a festival, and then now we're coming back for our own headline show.
That's amazing. And how do you felt about last time being in Mexico, about your experiences? You had a great time. What do you remember the most about being here in our city?
Well, we had a great time at the festival. We played at the same stage as Toto, which was funny. So we're watching the rains come down and everything, and then uh also Mars Volta was playing. That was cool. We met him at the airport, and we also saw us we went to a rock bazaar. That was cool. It was like a market, outdoor market, where they're selling like rock and roll patches and stuff.
Yeah,
And we went, maybe this is like super corny touristy, but we went to a luchador match, which I'd never
yeah,
seen, and it was just so cool. Yeah, like what a cool art and like so entertaining. I like the costumes were so inspiring to me. Uh, yeah, I come from Alberta in Canada, which is
yeah.
like we also have a bit of a Western thing, like cowboys and kind of thing. And I remember there's some luchador like costumes where they had like all the tassels and stuff. I thought it looked really badass.
Yeah, you related in a way culturally.
Yeah, in a way. Not-
That's great, Jane. So it's going to be a great show. I'm really eager to see you live. Last time I wasn't able to. So, Burry the Key. What a great name for your last album or your most recent album. Tell us a little bit about the concept of this album, and it's out through Ghostly International.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of like when the solution's within your reach, but you're like purposefully kind of like hiding it from yourself, or like this idea that, you know, we can't access the solution is there, but it's hard to access it. It's like I feel like it's pretty obvious to many people maybe how things could get better in the world, but it's so difficult to think how it would, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So like on a personal level, societal level, just kind of feeling like you're getting taken further away from the point and trying to like looking for answers, I guess.
Yeah. 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 I like a self boycott in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, something like this. It was funny actually, once we named it that, I started having all these problems with keys where I was like losing keys or keys wouldn't work or
Oh.
and I was like maybe this is a something funny was happening.
Every great album has its own mystics,
Yeah,
Jane,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
right?
I think
And
so.
yeah, for sure. And of course, this new album or most recent album, it has a little bit more sinister tone than maybe other previous works. I think that maybe it's because of the sign of the times, Jane, how the
Yeah, I think
world is
so.
now.
I think there's this aspect to it, and also I was going through some things personally myself,
Yeah,
um, which is funny because then now that all feels very like a long time ago, but at the time I
yeah.
have this memento of that. But yeah, it's funny to be promoting it later and be like, oh, actually, life is good now. But
Yeah, but it still makes sense in a
yeah,
way, of course.
I think
Maybe you
you're
are not in.
yeah, it's always like a screenshot of your life in this moment, right?
Yeah, awful if that was the issue that you were in that spot in your life and it worked perfectly then, but some months after that would be the problem that maybe you wouldn't relate to that, but it's still your life.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, but I'm also happy in this case that it's not that I can't relate anymore, but I hope other people can. And I can
Yeah,
still remember like when I sing the song.
yeah, for sure. Most personal is the most creative in a way. When you write from your personal experiences, of course, and truly do that, you connect with people at other levels.
Yeah, exactly. I've always felt like this is my skill more than maybe musicianship or like as a singer, you know?
Yeah, 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 for sure. You obviously at the front of tops, you also play keyboards, you play flute. What are your main influences since you were a kid? When you were a kid, a little kid, what was that music that you heard and got you and you said, this is what I want to do with my life?
I mean, that's a good question. I think I went through a lot of different phases as a kid with music. I feel like I started like with the Beatles and stuff like, my parents' old vinyl. Uh, and then I was a little bit of an art kid and I was really into like many different things as a kid. I remember being really inspired by like bands coming out of Montreal at a time when I was a teenager that really brought me to Montreal. Um,
Okay. Can you share some of them for our audience?
well, I guess yeah, like it was hard to because like well I did like there was this band called the Unicorns that I really liked
Okay.
and I think they were around for a little bit of time and then they became another band called Island like
Okay.
also like all these bands like Wolf Parade and things more it was more an idea that it was out there that like kind of me to Montreal
Yeah.
um more than like that I was influenced by their music when it became to be a musician but I think there's this movie Myland Kicks right now that David and I um wrote the songs for the band. It's a movie about a band and there's a
Okay.
scene in Montreal in like 2010 and there's the girl she wants to move to Montreal because she sees this band Islands on stage and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. It's a really similar I went through a
Story.
similar phase."
Okay.
But I
Okay.
guess like also um as the band when Tops formed, I feel like we kind of wanted to be like we were really into soft rock, like Fleetwood Mac and Steely Dan and stuff, but we also
Ooh.
had like more of a punk edge. We wanted to have like sort of like a Romeo Void or like a Blondie kind of
Yeah. Great.
like uh edginess to it. So and also like um yeah, bands like Broadcast and Stereolab are also influential to me. Just this idea of like something that's timeless and creative and kind of outlasts everything. Because like I think that's like I think sometimes indie music can be really like immortal in this sense, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's sort of like a similar thing that Tops is trying to do.
It makes complete sense for me now listening to you, all these artists that you are mentioning. It makes complete sense and mission accomplished, of course. For Burry the Key, the teamwork, Jane, with David, with Riley, with Marta, how do you approach composition? How do you work as a team, as a creative team?
Well, Marta and David and I wrote some songs together for this record, which was fun. I feel like David and I often do songwriting together, and it's like it sounds cheesy, but it is a bit of like a Lennon McCartney thing where like I think a lot of times one of us wrote more of the song and it goes both ways, but then it's like the other person always is changing things or questioning things, and we're always working on things together to get them finished. But yeah,
Yeah,
David and I like writing songs together. And then yeah, like I think Riley with the drumming, he just like kind of knew what to do, and occasionally too for this record, he sent us some drums first. Like there's a song we have called Annihilation that's like kind of has a bit of more of a upbeat kind of like it's very percussive and almost like disco-y, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Riley wrote this kind of insane beat and then we kind of made the song on top. So that was a different thing. But yeah, like I mean we're just all coming together and making the songs happen for the most part.
that's great. That's great. So it's an effort team, but obviously you and David create maybe the narrative. What does inspires you, Jenny? I mean, life itself for sure, but when you are working in the discipline of creating songs or lyrics, what inspires you from life? Do you go out to open air? Would you like to go driving? What do you do?
Um I do a lot of like handwriting and doodling. Um I
Okay.
think also yeah, that's interesting to like be so um I don't do that so much where I'm like trying to do something specifically because I think I'm going to be able to write a song. I think you just have to show up every day and try your best. And obviously, yeah, like life is such a big part for me, but also sometimes it takes a couple years for me to understand something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, a lot of it happens like in my almost like unconscious mind, but I do, yeah, there's certain songwriters like Leonard Cohen or um yeah, I'll just or like there's I'll get really fixated on a song that already exists, but and I'll but not I'm not trying to rip it off in the sense of like copying the words or the music. It's
Okay.
more just like something that they do. Usually it's about like creating a space or something. Um
Okay.
like
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 the
Leonard Cohen
feeling.
has this song what is it, Paper Thin Walls? It's yeah,
The
anyway,
great Leonard
he's
Cohen.
talking about about here basically listening to his ex-lover is like getting it on with somebody else. I'm assuming maybe it was like it sounds like something that would happen on tour, but he's like hearing her with this other person like through it's like and he's talking about how the walls of this hotel are paper thin and he can hear it and it's just like something like that. Like if I hear a song that really creates um a situation and you can also
Okay.
feel something about what that person's feeling in that situation. I guess it's like a real like the ultimate subjectivity that's
Yeah.
accessible to anybody. That's every time I hear a song like that, I'm trying to that like reminds me that that's what I'm ultimately chasing.
That's great. That's a great example. Thank you very much, Jane. And another great Canadian, right? Leonard
Yeah.
Cohen.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing writer. What has changed? A lot, of course, but for you, Jane, from Tender Opposites to Bury the Key, it's been more than a decade. What relates to you most important from that the debut album to the most recent one?
Mm, I mean, I think in some ways I've stayed really committed to being still in Montreal and come out in and out and everything, but like there's a certain work ethic of things that's just like David and I getting together in Montreal to work that I feel like hasn't changed at all, which is kind of
Okay,
crazy to think about. But I think, um, I mean, so much has changed. I feel like when we made Tender Opposites, we just there's an idea that maybe we could see how far music could go, and now it's like that we're so, we're actually get to have this kind of career. Um, and yeah, I think it's yeah, it's so much, so much. It's so long ago, 15 years or
yeah,
so. So,
yeah.
um, but I think
Well,
that I mean one thing that hasn't changed is that everybody still wants to do it. So in that
that's
sense, it's very
amazing.
beautiful. And actually, like I think we still have fans coming out that have been there from the very, very start. But yeah, I mean like our we've all changed so much in certain ways.
And the fans will be will your fans are going to be pleased because it's not the same to experience the band you love in a festival than in a club or in a venue. So now you were in the Corona Capital, right? A big festival. And now you are coming to one of the most important venues, more intimate in Mexico City, the Foro Indie Rocks. So what have you prepared for your fans?
Well, we're gonna try to do some new songs for sure, but like some old songs as well. Um, Marta might play a song, Marcy might play a song. And we also have um yeah, it's just gonna be like all the good stuff that they remembered, but we're gonna be playing longer, a lot longer than we got to at Corona Capital, and
Yeah,
I think it'll be a good atmosphere, and I'm really really looking forward to it. I think we played one other headline show in Mexico City, and it was one of our my favorite shows we've ever done. So,
that's great. That's great. What would be your preferred or favorite or desired collaboration on stage with a musician, with an artist of music for the band or for you?
that's a good question. Um,
Maybe for a song, Now we're going to invite for this song. Who
yeah,
would
yeah,
that
yeah.
be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think it would be. I'm trying to think like if it would be more fun to have like a legend or somebody more
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's dead.
dead or alive.
Dead or alive, yeah, for sure.
Um, I think it would be it would be insane to sing a song with I guess let's just get all of Fleetwood Mac on stage. That would be really funny because then we would all get to meet them afterwards too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's
because I never saw Fleetwood Mac when Christine McVie was still alive, which I'm like kicking, I'm so sad about. So
yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so it would be Fleetwood Mac on stage with tops. That would be
every,
in a parallel universe. That's happening, Jane.
okay, great. Yeah. We need a big stage for that, but I think we could do it.
Yeah, a lot of people there. So, in this day and age of hyper digitalism, Jane, when you skip whenever you want songs or chapters or whatever, what would be a recommendation from you to our audience in order to do a deep listening? What record for you is completely round, from top to bottom, the kind of record that you play it and you don't stop till it's finished as the artist intended to be heard?
Mm. Okay, at first I thought you were talking about Topps records, but it seems like you're talking about another.
Yeah, well, maybe you can also recommend one from your band, but
Okay, well, this is a record, but this is maybe like too obvious of which I don't know if people in Mexico are going to be like yawn when I say this, but there's this album called Siembra by Willie Colon.
oh, no, 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 amazing. He
Um,
passed recently,
yeah,
the
he
great
did,
Willie
yeah,
Colon.
didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But
yeah, we did a feature on that.
that's a record that I've played like front to back. You just put it on. It's not, there's no, I mean, it's not a concept album. It's just some of the best music that I've found.
That's great, Jane. And it caught me a little bit by surprise because of the kind of music we're talking about, the band you are, guys, right? But it's
Yeah.
an amazing recommendation. Así que ahí está el Siembra del gran Willy Colón, recomendado por Jane the Tops. Thank you very much, Jane. So, what can people expect from your show? In a brief phrase or two phrases, what would you say about the experience of Tops Live?
I think it's going to be like very relaxed and musical and also hopefully will like emotional. Hopefully we can access like whatever people's are getting feeling when they're listening to our music. Hopefully they can kind of like swim in that feeling. Yeah, and we don't play with tracks or anything, so I think hopefully they just get the real like true energy of the band because I feel like that's ultimately like we are such a band in this way. So yeah.
That's great. I love how you say to swim in that, to be completely absorbed from it or in it.
Hmm.
That's great, Jane. Thank you very much for your time, Jane. And just to finish, uh, you are about to be left alone in a deserted island and you can just listen to the music from one artist all your life, the whole catalog. It would be Fleetwood Mac for you.
No, I guess if it was to be something with, oh, it's hard. I feel like I would say Bill Evans, but then there's no singing, and that would be really hard to have like no, it would be like you're really alone, there's no humans. So I guess otherwise maybe it would have to be like either Nina Simone or Neil Young.
Oh, great, great. So have a great show. We're gonna be there for sure, Jane, checking all the new work you've done. And just one more. For those who do not know Tops yet and are going to discover it maybe from this conversation, which album from Tops would you recommend to be the first one to listen?
I think uh probably I Feel Alive. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, great. In
I would
any
like to
reason,
say my new record, but I know that artists always just say
yeah, that's why I
obsessed with their
ask.
new stuff, so I'm gonna purposely do something a bit older.
Yeah, that's why I ask exactly. And why I feel alive.
I just think we achieved, I think that's when I felt like that we really started to achieve what we're t setting out to do. Um, yeah, and I like the range on that album. I like the mood of it. I think the last one that we did is a little bit more, it just is more specific in the sense that it's a bit darker and has yeah, so I think I Feel Alive is a good access point, entry
Yeah,
point, yeah.
that's great. As Leonard Cohen said, you want it darker.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's necessary, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
To have it darker. Okay, so thank you very much. Los tops, platicando aquí con Jane de los tops, 8 de mayo en el Indie Rocks, imperdible. Thank you very much for your time, Jane. Say hello to all the team, please, and see you there live for your live show. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Ciao, Jane.
Bye bye.